Hello, this is Brendan, and we are going to be going through my 4K collection. And going through this collection, I couldn't pick a better movie to start with than my all-time favorite. Avengers 3 and 4. I do consider this one whole movie. There's been no movie I have enjoyed watching than this. This is kind of the culmination of what got me into Marvel in the first place, and it was just an awesome experience to finally see, like, after a decade of just building up, what it became and how much it exceeded my expectations of how good it was. I thought they were going to flub it, and they did not. I always do get into arguments with my wife about which one is the better part, and I do agree Avengers Infinity War is the better of the two, but I think Endgame encapsulated the whole series in just as perfect as you can get. So that's definitely number one. Now, the funny thing with Endgame is I haven't had another movie since it came out that I could even put into my top 20, which is saying a lot. It's been 7 years. However, there is one, and it's kind of a similar idea of where I did my number one movie is two movies. This is also two films, and this is probably my favorite movie of the last 7 years, and that is, where are you? Dune 1 and Dune 2. I grew up watching the David Lynch version of Dune. I never watched the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries, so I never got to experience that. But for what it was, I'm a huge sci-fi nerd. I love outer space. Like, that saga, that movie just really hit me. But now looking back on it, it's very campy. I mean, you could only do so much with special effects. And they tried cramming so much into a 2-hour movie that it, in retrospect, ruined the experience. And I think Denis Villeneuve really nailed it, splitting the first book into two movies. I got to see them both in IMAX, and that was worth every penny. Oh, actually, no, I saw part 2 in IMAX. Dune saw it home because of the pandemic. And while I would say Dune 2 is the best movie of the bunch. I think Dune, it's kind of like I described it. It's kind of like Lord of the Rings, where Fellowship of the Ring was very slow pacing, a bunch of setup, and then the subsequent movies really paid it off. And I think that's true in this case. But to me, it's almost inseparable. The two are all inseparable. Like, I have to watch them back to back, although that commits quite a lot of your day. But can't recommend it enough. Right now, best movie I've seen in the last 7 years. Now, to go with a much older movie, but it still has quite a bit of impact on me, is my all-time favorite horror movie, Event Horizon. So if you don't know the shtick with this, it's basically a haunted house in outer space. A ship travels to hell, comes back, and the rescue team has to deal with the consequences. I unfortunately saw this when I was 10 years old. And if any of you have seen this movie, you will 100% know that's probably not the best movie in the world. But I rented this from Blockbuster because I was in my spaceship phase, and there was a giant spaceship on the cover. And the lead actor in the movie, right there, Sam Neill, was the good guy in another one of my all-time favorites, Jurassic Park. So I rented it, went home, watched it by myself, and it has traumatized me ever since. My tradition with it now is watching it every Halloween at midnight with all the lights off. Still gets me. I still get nightmares, especially from the Crew black box scene. Just go online to look that up. And then, let's find the next one here. I'm going to go with one of my specialty sets. So, this movie is sort of also like Dune, where it's one of my favorite movies to have come out since Endgame. And the strange thing is, it is the only foreign language movie I own. And that is Godzilla Minus One. So this movie won an Oscar for Best Visual Effects last year. I went into it with very low expectations. I'm, again, not a huge foreign language movie buff. And if you know, the whole movie's in Japanese. And it blew my expectations out of the water. I loved how they actually made it into a human story with Godzilla on the side versus what the Americanized Godzillas recently, which I personally love as well, failed to do. They failed to get kind of that human element into it, and it kind of made it as just less a Godzilla movie and more like a sci-fi special effects slugfest. Like, this really took a lot of, the director took, I forgot his name, took a lot of time. Took a lot of time, a lot of effort to make this as good as he could. And that is going to be it. Thank you for paying attention.